Like, he does literally everything he is told not to do that's going to make this thing worse. Then still thinks he can fight it. And it made me start to wonder, do demons or entities get more upset at Americans? Because Americans are just naturally stupidly fucking arrogant? Because he thought that he's like, it's my house. It's my fucking house. Fucking handle it,
I
babe.
pay rent here, not you.
I'm gonna fucking handle it. That's what he said. It's my fucking house. I'm gonna fucking handle it, babe. Okay.
That gets a Takashi. Stupid.
She said, she told him.
We just jumped right into that one.
Oh, man.
We're back.
Oh, man. I think we should stick on that, man. But who do you blame when you make an obviously stupid decision? Because I was
Are we
just
still talking paranormal activity, or we're just talking in general?
Anything, paranormal, anything. When you know something and you do something stupid and it backfires on you that you knew had a 90% chance of which. You only had a 10% chance of success at something where maybe you shouldn't even be doing it, which would give you a 100% chance of not going through that 90% failure rate. And people still do it. And just full disclosure before we hit record there. I was telling you last night that I was watching Paranormal Activity. Oh, you were recording that the whole time?
He's been recording this whole time.
Oh, well, yeah. But just the guy, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. Just I forgot how stupid he is in that movie, man. And just that he thought that he knew more about the spirit realm in that area than the actual thing that dwelled in it.
But that's the biggest stupidity to me. Like, if you're going to be arrogant about something, be arrogant about something that people have proof works. Like a business model or something. If you're talking about spiritual activity, something that nobody can convince me they understand anything about the shit. Everybody has a different story about it. And that's the one thing that you're going to say, nah, fuck that. I'm going to take care of it. Bro, this is why we have scary movies. To warn us about doing stupid activities. To warn us about what you're doing.
I really think that, I told you the new show on CBS, Evil. That show is a total mind fuck. And, like, even I'm still like it's about a guy who's an assessor for the Catholic Church, and he has to get someone to work with him who's not a believer, who her job is to tell him whether or not if this is a real, who knows about she's a forensic psychologist, or so to speak, something like that. But she's like
so she's trying to debunk this shit.
Miracles, demonic possession, like crazy shit. And she's working with him, and it's for her that she's not a believer. And what does she see there? And they have a guy who just completely doesn't believe at all, who's there to deal with like audio and what could be any type of technological influence in it. And she's there to be, and like some of the shit they deal with on that shit is like, what the fuck?
All right, because there's a bunch of shows, especially like on Netflix, where people are paranormal investigators by trade.
Yeah.
One, do you think that's even a real profession?
I think that
because you can't. Are you gonna get a degree in this?
No,
shit?
It's not a road. You're not gonna get a degree in it, but they have degree in things like that help with it, like anthropology. Some of these guys with the technology stuff, like with the EVPs and knowing how to use all that, and some of the the sensors and spectrometers and all that they have to know and how to use and relate to and shit. But
there's certain things that just
there's somebody
the wrong
these
way.
Shows when I see them, you have to know it's a lot of camera work. You have to understand what's going on. And I don't think that there can only be so many haunted places for all these shows to go to. And, I've never watched too many of them because I don't want to see this stuff and be like, oh, that's not real. And I told you I'm very much a believer. You heard me with my pops when we were talking the other day in the house. Well, I never knew how much he was a believer to the fact that he stays away from certain films to this day.
It's funny. You just reminded me of a story about my pops. And my sister Angie did this, rest in peace. When she was a kid, my mom used to tell us, don't watch scary movies in the house because you're bringing demonic spirits to the house.
That's what my dad was saying.
That was a big thing, right?
My dad,
we grew up in the church.
Yeah, we both grew up J-Dubs, but my dad...
Jehovah's Witness for the people who don't know.
My dad said, I'm a firm believer. The devil plays on his side of the street. I play on mine. If I stay here, he won't come here if I don't walk on that side. That's what my dad said.
So
2 days ago,
my dad he was still living with us. He was watching, I don't know if it was Freddy Krueger or one of them things. I think it was Freddy Krueger. And my mom, this was right before was going to church. My mom was yelling at him saying, take that off the TV. You're going to bring bad spirits. He didn't listen. He kept watching him. So Angie goes and we had those old phones that when you pick them up, the little thing pops up. Yeah. She taped it down. So we'd all leave. We go to church. My dad's in the house. The phone starts ringing. He picks it up and it keeps ringing.
That's fucked up.
Yo, we found him by the staircase next to your door. He was shaking with a cup of coffee and a cigarette. It's like,
yo, that is cold-blooded right there.
See, that's something that could easily be explained. That it wasn't something supernatural, but when you start dealing with supernatural shit, most people don't have explanations, so the slightest thing will scare the shit out of them.
Like in that, like there's an episode, like you have to watch it, but they deal with stuff that part of it's explainable, and then other parts of it, no matter what they try, no one can explain or put into words what they're viewing or seeing. It's nuts, and it's wild. It's just a good show to watch, but it's just like people just, and it comes down to something with common sense too, man. Like I think if I don't know how to deal with something or something's going on or manifesting around me in a way that I don't know, I'm not going to pretend to understand it. I'm going to look for people that maybe do,
or just stay away from it altogether.
Or just stay away from it altogether. But that's what early in the movie this idiot is told is, don't film it. The camera may sense you inviting in, and as they tell him, don't try to do your stupid EVPs asking it questions. What does he do? The very next day, tell him don't get a Ouija board. It's definitely gonna think you want it. And then he said, I didn't buy a Ouija board. I borrowed a Ouija board. I said I wasn't gonna buy one. And it's like that's the type of stupid shit that should get you slapped.
So, being that you brought it up right before I was gonna say it, do you remember when I played the Ouija board?
Yeah.
And I hate that I say play because it's not something you play.
It's not a game. And the fact that it's still sold as a parlor game by like Hasbro, and you have
that's fucking crazy.
No, is it Hasbro or Milton Bradley? Whichever one of them. It's still sold as a fucking parlor game.
It's Lucifer's company, whatever the fuck it is. But we made a Ouija board one day. The whole thing was that we was having an argument. We was having a macho argument about who was scared to go to a fucking cemetery and play the Ouija board. And we was going to go and film this as a documentary called Celestia. We all drinking Hennessy in the house. Everybody starts popping shit. Next thing you know, we end up in a cab going all the way to Jamaica, Queens to make a Ouija board out of cardboard and a shot glass. A few hours later, I make a series of phone calls crying hysterically. Because that was the scariest shit I've ever experienced in my life.
Bro, you told me shit got real. I know people have told me, like, I know someone who I'm not going to get all the way into it. We can talk about this off air. But someone who I got reports from friends and people have told me the reason she's big in the church now is that some friends had a sleepover in high school and they played a Ouija board and things started happening that night and they woke up the next morning. And they were, I'm about to say, the crosses, all the crosses in
upside down.
Hispanic house were upside down. No one else in the house with them, and they were all in the room. And there were a lot of things, and it was just like never again was she.
But what was so funny is that the night that shit happened, everybody left me in the room. Like I went to sleep. I was so drunk, I went to sleep. Everybody was still there, and they left me. I woke up, and the Ouija board is right next to me, bro. And I'm just in a dead silent basement and there's still mist in the air from all the smoke the night before. And I remember running out of there. It was snowing outside. And for about the next 6 months, so many bad things happened to everybody that was in that house that day. Like, we fought each other. We fought other people.
Got attacked randomly. My boy lost his house. A lot of shit happened, man, and it's like people say you invite these things into your life, and you're ignorant to the possibilities or what can possibly happen, and that's partially your fault because you went along with it.
And this is when I was working in Borough Park. Yeah. Check this out. So I was working in Borough Park. So the train ride was a long train ride from Jamaica, Queens. On the train ride the next morning, I'm going to work. I just decided to research how are you supposed to use a Ouija board, and everything that was listed was the exact opposite of everything we did.
I had been telling you because we had wanted to write that movie, and I've been telling you it's a great premise. Like we need to research that.
We never even closed it out.
Respect it all the way. not be under the influence of any type of drugs,
And we was
alcohol, or
fucking
anything.
hammered.
Respect whatever you deal with. Yes or no questions. No longer like it's.
And then everybody's yelling at each other when the shit starts moving because everybody's blaming it on each other.
I saw
even
the
to this day.
I saw the video. No one's finger was on that, in the direction it was moving. You would have noticed that cup because you guys had it on its, like if it was flipped over like this, and you would have noticed someone pushing it on that. And that wasn't a very smooth surface for it to be gliding like that with none of you pushing it, from what I saw. Like I told you guys, man, it's just ignorance to what happened. I told you I'd never do it in my entire life. I have no intentions of doing it. I'll still continue to watch movies and television shows about it. I think that's what.
Because they're fun.
They're fun. They're intriguing. They're a safe way
to watch it from a distance. But
yeah.
You're not gonna go in the
But
cemetery.
even, looking at the YouTube, how many YouTube videos have you ever watched those, like those compilations of people?
All the time.
I think we were watching some one time.
There's a whole channel dedicated to it called Chills.
And it's like people they're in barns or houses and you're just hearing banging and they're freaking out. It freaks you out. You don't know if it's real or not. I don't know if they're doing camera work, but it makes me believe it's real.
And for people to go out of their way so much to just create a video that's going to end up on someone else's top 10 compilation, you're not getting any money for it. You're not getting any real recognition for it. So why go through the trouble of making it?
Yeah.
To me, a lot of this footage that I see is authentic.
It's authentic to me until proven otherwise.
They don't want to accept that shit. They don't want to accept it. And I think I don't want to talk about this shit no more, bro. This shit's starting to
give you the heebie-jeebies.
Got a long walk home.
Yeah. It's time to give Roach the willies here. So you guys all know we can follow us.
At Bud and Roach, man.
Yeah, man. Just be wise to what you're doing out there in the world because you don't want ghouls and goblins coming around.
And, of course, follow First Live at...
First Live, us. Not First Live, US. First Live, us. And we'll be with you guys again next time, man.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Bushwick here.